Oh, this week has been absolutely hectic with the Lego City, but it's also been absolutely awesome because you can probably see in the background already, it is now lower. But I'm nowhere near finished with what we've been doing. So this week, I haven't got a B-roll or anything because there's nothing really exciting to show on that, and I haven't been answering any questions either. But I've just been basically redoing all of the tables again. I've still got some of the tables still left to do for the end of this week. But anyways, let's get straight into the video. What a way to start a Lego City update. We are back at the beginning. Basically, I've just removed all of the track. It's all kind of here. Obviously got to remove all of that, but it's hard to get to at the moment. So what I'm doing is taking all this off, and actually the Lego City is currently downstairs. So let me quickly show you what that looks like. City is currently a mess downstairs. I've tried to make it look a little bit good, but obviously we've got like flowers on the floor at the moment and even sets all over here like the train station and the haunted house and stuff. So a little bit hectic whilst we move the city, but this should all hopefully get cleared up in the next couple of days as I slowly move it back up to the city. But I've still got to do all those tables yet. So this is such a long task. As I was saying, like raising the city is really, really daunting. I've done it twice in the space of a month. Oh dear, so it's super late at night. I've actually moved all of the tables. This is how low the city is gonna be. So that's what it was before, and that's what it is now. Quite a lot different, which does allow me to put actual modular buildings down for the full height. So let me get a couple and I'll show you what I mean. So out of the modulars that I have, obviously the biggest one I have that's built at the moment is the new police station, and then the bookshop's kind of a decently tall one as well. But if you look, this is kind of the height that it's going to be, which will give me perfect height around the back to really allow me to get a full base plate at the back. So this is obviously where the train goes underneath, and then with this. So it is slightly high, but you'll see roughly, if I can go back a little bit, it is obviously still going to be lower than this from the start. So very, very cool. I think we're going to be adding a lot more stuff, and this is going to be awesome because it does massively allow the city to be even bigger. Look how far that is pushed back for that table, which is really, really cool. So I had to move all my boxes out the way, and I put it all on the city that I've already got at the moment. But I have leveled up these actual tables right now. And you can see there's a big table missing here because I'm putting the legs on right now. This room is an absolute mess with stuff everywhere. I've started packing away the monorail track as well. So I'm making sure I kind of save all that because obviously there's a lot of old grey plates and stuff that I need to make sure it gets stayed. So kind of moving all of this, moving all these bits off as well, and then I can lower all this side too. Okay, so it's super late here at night, but we have managed to do some more of the tables. I've now got this one on these small new legs as well. That one's been all completely moved away. You can see the massive Millennium Falcon box that was under the city that I'm gonna have to find a new place for. But I've actually got these metal legs here that might be okay for this back one because they are pretty similar height to this one, which is what I was thinking. So I've been trying to calculate how to do the monorail track because I want the monorail track to be going around the same height as this section here on Ninjago City, and that actually becomes around 16 bricks and 2 plates because of the bottom. So I've been thinking of that 15 to 16, and also obviously I need it to connect to the back here for this. So I really can't get the maths quite right in my head at the moment. So what I think I'm going to be doing is, and there's a suggestion by Steph as well, because I'm trying to do way too much whilst it's not even in planning stages, is we're going to clean all of this all up. We're going to replant all of the city that we had down here as well. And then we can have a better look at the monorail that we had set up last week to see what the height of these 2 tables are going to be right here, because they can be different to that one and this one. So I think that's kind of cool that we can do that. For this bit now, we're going to go forward. I'm going to remove all of this stuff, tidy it all up, and bring all the stuff from the dining room back up here to get this looking like an actual city again. Okay, powering on through the night, we now have the second layer of tables on. The train has all been put back together, which took absolutely ages, but it's all back in now. And if you look how much better that height is. I literally have my tallest modular that I've built at the moment, the police station, and it fits perfectly on the hardest part of the ceiling. So this is so much better. You can see it goes neatly to the edge, which is really, really cool. In fact, I've got a little bit of lip there that I can even play with. It's absolutely great. And they fit in perfectly, which is just awesome. So we've now got to bring everything back up for this part of the city and get this all working. And it actually looks like, doing the measurements I saw, I have 4.6 base plates in width now along here. So I've gained like quite a decent, almost an entire full base plate again added on, which is pretty cool. So I could maybe do bigger roads and then 2 modular buildings side by side here, and then a bigger road here as well. And then obviously I've got the monorail as well, which I'm thinking of doing. I think monorail might actually just go to here. So now most of our buildings are back upstairs. I wanted to take another look at the road plates yet again, because I did want to have them bigger than what we currently have, because those ones are pretty small. Now, if you guys hadn't known, Robin Hood Bricks did a really good video on the new road plates again this week. Go and check it out if you haven't already. It's an absolutely fantastic channel. But basically his way was doing this awesome 2-plate high setup and then clipping it in really easily like that, and it really does have a nice look. Now this is obviously two of the road plates combined, which creates a 32 by 32. The problem with that is with my setup, I would love to do this because it looks fantastic, but the problem with my setup is that it's already falling off the back of the table here, and at the front it just won't connect at all. So that is a full base plate and it's hitting into here already, and that's not even including these two tiles here. If you can actually afford the space, this looks absolutely fantastic. So there's so much more you can do with it. But I want to take that style and actually make it my own by having a slight adjustment and making it slightly bigger, but not as big as a full 32 by 32. But I've actually managed to calculate that this can be slightly wider by 5. And that actually gives me a little bit wider of a road and more curb as well, which is looking a lot less cramped. And with that, this side, I can have exactly the same this side. I've got quite a few of these new road plates anyway, so I'm gonna start positioning it, start tidying all this mess up as well. And I also wanna have a look at how to actually wire in my lighting kits, because I do have two sets, which is the assembly square and corner garage at the moment, which do have lighting kits in it. So I wanna take off these battery banks, actually use that new actual connector as well and have this set up to the actual plugs. So hopefully we can start getting some of these city actually lit up as well this week. Right, so after fiddling around with this till about midnight, chatting with Roadrunner last night, I think I've kind of got a way, which is basically making them 4 studs wider. Now, as I was doing this, I realized that I actually don't need to have these as the 2x2s, but that gives me an extra 2x2 there, so 4 studs there, and then it gives me an extra 3 studs for the sides, which is pretty sweet. So then trucks themselves can still fit really, really nicely, and you've got quite a lot of room, so it's not too bad. A lot better than obviously it was before, where you'd only be going to there, so you've gained a little bit extra. But the only issue with that is corners, because corners will not work anymore, because if I had a corner here, like I'll show right here, the corner won't be aligned for that there if that was actually the white, and if you put it there, you're going to have a bigger gap here, which is a bit annoying, which is something I might do. But for this, I think what I'm going to do instead is actually combine these two here like that and do the same over here and have them as just a T-junction here and here instead, and then that's going to be going off with a modular there. The only then issue I'll have for a corner on my layout, it'll just be the one right at the end over here, and that'll be it. Also, just a quick update on the lighting. I don't have proper extension cables, so this extension cable only goes to that plug there, and this is obviously gonna have to go all the way around and underneath the city to light everything up. So I'm not really gonna be adding much lighting to this week, but I do have some things. I've been looking at some of the actual ideas and stuff, so I can actually order them from Amazon to start getting it lit up nicely. But we only have 2 anyway. The corner garage is lit up and assembly square. I think what I'm going to do now is pretty much just put all the modulars back on the table, because it's all an absolute mess as I've been sorting this out and making these templates. Just going to put them on with some rough idea where I'm thinking, and I think that's going to wrap up this week's Lego City update. Okay, so after a super messy desk with plates absolutely everywhere, road plates absolutely everywhere as well, and just the state, this is what it's still like with the city, I think I have actually found a way in which I want the road plates to look. Yes, I went back to the road plates as I still wasn't happy with this corner thing here, having it as kind of a built version. I just didn't think it looked right with the rest of it, seeing as I'm spending a lot on getting these looking right. But I think I've solved it, which is actually just to make it the pavement one 2x2 smaller. Well, it's actually only 1 stud smaller, because I'm using the same edging that's on the usual modular buildings, but with a 2x2 added instead. And then adding these plates right to the edge right here, which gives the road plates a little bit more width. And I think that'll work a lot better. As you can see here, I have a caravan and a truck, and they fit absolutely fine next to each other. This looks like it's falling off. This is because that bit isn't built. As you can see here, it has plenty of room there, and it looks fine passing. I mean, they've got loads of room both sides. So I think that looks absolutely amazing, and it actually looks really good with that little bit of light bluish grey going around as well. So I think that looks really, really cool. And then I just started messing around with kind of the stuff over here as well, which I think this looks so cool now with the right height. That looks really, really nice. I really like that. You can also see the Soapstud sign pretty clearly there from the diner, which I think looks really cool. And then I've kind of got this old abandoned bit here. I'm going to take this side bit off right here. I don't like that at all. I think that looks really messy. So I'm going to take that off and keep that as a half build at the moment. But I'm going to have the actual monorail metro section being here on stilts, so just kind of looking at what that would look like there, and I think that's where it's going to go. And then I'm not going to have it going all the way down here because of the road plates as I've been looking. I think I'm just going to keep it there and then going around like I had it before, and I think that'll look really cool. And maybe even have a tunnel going through the back here going around, so I could have a little brick built tunnel for it to go through, which will look pretty cool as well. And like I see, I've put Sesame Street back as well in the corner, and I think it looks really nice next to the bookshop like that. It looks like a really nice corner build, and I could probably have something a little bit cooler in the background, like a skyscraper or something kind of toppling over it to make it look really cool as well. I've also added these buildings in the back, so you'll have to let me know what you think. These are like the Lego City buildings, but from the back they actually look a little bit like facades on there, because this is actually just a wooden shelf that I have on here, but it could be kind of cool. And then I could brick build, this is like a wall or something when you can see it, but I think it looks kind of cool from over there, and it actually makes it look like the city's even bigger when you step back. Got more of a facade look to it, so I'm kind of happy with that. But this is kind of shaping up quite well now. Obviously the city is an absolute mess, but I think that's where I'm going to keep it up to right now for this week, because I've spent 2 good solid weeks on trying to get all this built, and I think what's happening here is it's getting really, really good now. Still obviously got to sort out all this area, but we have made a lot of progress this week, and I'm super happy with how it's going to start really looking and tidying up with these nice little details right here. So that's it for this week's Lego City update. It's basically a bit more of a vloggy update, trying to tackle this a little bit at a time every night. As you can see, the lighting was a little bit off because I've been having to do this after work hours, and it's just been a little bit stressful. And obviously the place is still an absolute tip. You can even see there's like still bits like base plates on the floor at the moment and stuff, but it is slowly getting there. And we're also adding new modular buildings, or should I say old retired modular buildings, like the detective's office is now in there as well. And I realised I hadn't even got time to show you guys, so I'll show you that in the next Lego City update as well as hopefully adding another one from our live streams. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, then give it a like, and if you absolutely loved it, then how about subscribe? And as always, have an absolute awesome day. I have been building this, which is obviously the Destiny's Bounty. It's going to be going in the Ninjago City section. Been doing these on Rogue Runner streams, so if you haven't seen that, go and check it out. But yeah, obviously getting ready, prepared for the Lego Ninjago City section area. Cannot wait.